Hello everybody, so this is my second presentation on investigating notifications and awareness for multi-user, multi-touch tabletop displays. So we have the same set of authors, me, Dr. Scott McCrickard, and Professor Steve Harrison. So for the collaborative systems, awareness to the environment, the information, to people that kind of work together with you is really important. So they are called collaborative awareness. One way to raise awareness among the collaborators is actually using notifications. The notifications are the lightweight event-trigger displays of information peripheral to a person's current task-oriented concern, like a notification about the system status and also a notification like others' emails or the weather conditions. Notification systems are actually around us for many years. What in the old times, like the Windows, date back to the Windows 95. So you can have a bar at the bottom of your screen showing like this one is called ESPN bottom line, showing the information about the game, or so some of them are showing even smaller, showing at the corner of your display. Like this is a weather box. Some of us are still using it, showing the weather condition. And there are some other fancy design, like this is a pretty famous notification system. It's a radar view. It looks like a radar with different sections about different things, like your inbox, your tasks, and your calendar. And to have little marks on it when there's an incoming message, so the mark is going to flash or shake, and when the user click on it, it can read what are the information they have to care about. And when the technology moves, the smartphones and most of the advanced laptop computers, the notifications are still quite widely used. Like the apps, we all know that's when we have, like for a chat app, and when somebody is calling you, you see a notification at the corner. Or for the cloud technologies, like the Dropbox, when your collaborators change something that you must know, it will send a notification at I think the right top corner of the screen and let you know what has been changed. So it will raise awareness of people's collaboration. But for co-located tabletop-based collaboration, do we actually need notifications? So think about a scenario like this: people stand around the table. Like the previous presenter said, they are doing more like cooperated interactions. So when two persons working on something at the corner, and the other person might not know what others are doing, so it's a kind of low situation of awareness. Especially when things get messed up on the display, so around a lot of different things are happening in there, and people might not be quickly capture what is going on with your collaborative activities. So, and actually, previous study, they have designed provided some notification techniques that actually helping people to monitor such situations. This is a very famous system called WeSearch, developed by the Meredith Morris from Microsoft, and they are getting around the table and let the user doing some search activities. So they are searching the web page and the web page are presented on a kind of digital card, so they can organize it and try to find the information they want to use. And they provided a sort of awareness widget called Marquee, and it shows the keywords that searched by each side of the table with a color encoding. So like this, the green words are searched by this side, and the red ones are searched by those. So those kind of they have three different widgets on three displays. So those types of awareness helper kind of help people know what each other are doing, even though they are standing on different sides of the table. So all this research looking into how the notification system could support co-located awareness, and there was one model of collaborative awareness with notification system. Is the John Carroll's model of awareness. He proposed that three types of awareness need to be supported by the notification system: the action awareness, social awareness, and activity awareness. The action awareness points to time-to-time ongoing task. So when you're doing something, others immediately capture your actions and maybe give you some response. And social awareness more points to the social perspective, that you know the presence of others. You know that you are collaborating with others. and you care about others' thoughts and sort of adapt your own actions into to others' behaviors. And the last one is activity awareness. This points more a longer term as a kind of umbrella. The first two is more related to the situation awareness. It's like you understand the situation. You know the longer term plan. You know when is your proper time to get it to involve you into the collaboration, and you sort of you know the plan and you know the overall situation. So it's kind of a that goes through the entire collaboration phases. So the notification system affects social awareness, activity awareness, and action awareness. That's kind of from mostly in the distributed collaboration. But our question is how those notifications could be applied in the co-located scenario. So to probe that, we conducted a study about two people use large displays to sort travel destinations cars into definitely, probably, and possibly visiting places. Happy coincidence with our previous. We also did a travel plan. So the two persons stand on different sides of the table, and we provided them a large pile of cars, the travel cars, and shows. It's not very clear, but it says the name of the destination and to how many days you should better stay here, and how much money it probably costs you. And based on those information, and we provide 36 different destinations, the same set of cars on two sides of display, and we will ask them to sort them into definitely, probably, and possibly visits by dragging and dropping them to the corresponding sorting boxes. So the boxes are put in the center of the display, and they are trying to sort out those cars. So it's basically a sorting task. And we did an A/B test. So the group A is a notification system, a group with notification system. So when they are when they are performing these actions, we send a notification telling others which card are sorted to which category. And the second one is a control group. So they're basically doing the same task without any notification. And to observe or participants' behavior, we sort of use a confederate. So a confederate means it's a research body, but the other participant doesn't have idea that he's actually performing the same actions throughout with all the participants. So they always this is actually our confederate. She always sorts the same card into the same category at the same time. So we perform these actions for all of 60 participants. So this is the notification we use. So when somebody drags the card here and the other side of the card is shaking a little bit. So it's a kind of pretty easy to notice, and it changes the color at the same time. And for each of the awareness type, we identify the awareness indicators. Like for social awareness, we use the verbal response and category change. The verbal response is the collaborator gives the feedback after seeing partner's activity. So you see others' activity, you have a sense to give him a verbal response of okay or no the hat. And for the category change, it's the number of times a collaborator sorts previously sorted cards. So it's more like when you sorted card into definitely, I later on changed it to the like the probably or possibly. That's kind of involve the social awareness, because when you change others' idea, there is some social tense there. And for action awareness, we use the touch reaction at touch distance. The touch reaction is the collaborator identifies the sorted card's location and moves. So when you sort it, I quickly I recognize it and I touch on the same card, maybe move to the table, archive it, kind of giving a touch reaction. And the touch distance is more related to the interruption of the notifications. It's like the accumulated distance between touch actions. So when you see the notification, you move your hand to it. So since our tabletop is kind of a large space, you move your point of focus on the display. So we calculate the accumulated distance of this movement. And the activity awareness is atom utility and redundant sort. The atom utility is the number of card movement per minute. So when you have a higher activity awareness, you sort of know what is the right time to move your things. You know which card you should move. And for the redundant sort, it's the number of times collaborators source previously sorted cards. So it's like others already sorted card into one of the category, and the other one doesn't actually have a good awareness of others' activity. He might perform this action again, which is redundant, it's useless. So For the results, we find those groups perform there's a significant statistical significance for those types of for each of those indicators. So for the control group actually giving significantly higher verbal response when they see others' activities. So if no notification, they are more tend to give them a verbal response. And for without notification, actually they perform more category change. So they actually care less about other thoughts. And for the notification groups, they actually perform more touch reactions. When they see it, they tend to touch on it, move it somewhere, try to categorize it. And for notification group, the notification group is definitely interrupted more by the notifications. They're actually moving much more longer distance on the display than the non-notification group. And for the item utility, the notification groups has higher item utility. They touch the unsorted cards more than the control group. And for the control group actually has a lot more redundant sort, so they have low activity readiness of others, so they always sort the cards to the same category. So summarizing our conclusions, we identify 3 factors in co-located collaboration that kind of being affected by the notifications and further affect the social action and activity awareness. So the first one is the social norms. We notice the notification increase the efficiency of the collaborative task exchange because they actually understand each other through the notification rather than the verbal communication. And the second one is and the social norms and also the notification cause degradation in performance towards individual task goals. So because they express less disagreement, it didn't change other thoughts a lot with notification. And also, the second factor is the team performance. Since the notification improve collaborators' ability to work independently because they talk less, but they are actually engage more in the interaction. And also, they improve the team efficiency because they are less redundant sort. And the third factor is individual work because notification interrupts the individual's ongoing task because they have to shift the point of focus from one place to the other. This kind of interrupts their ongoing work, and they also think less on the alternatives and new possibilities. It's like they don't when they see that when they receive the information of others' action and they are actually reluctant to make a change. Based on that, we sort of update Carroll's model into a framework about how notification is going to affect social activity and action awareness in collaboration through social norms, team performance, and individual work. So you can track those lines and see how notification could affect each type of awareness in the co-located collaboration. Moving forward, we're going to look into better notifications like some of them we may not even call them notifications, like the visual designs for social action and activities. Not only understand the collaboration context, but not only understand each other's activity, but also understand context, because more and more those touch devices are using different scenarios, so you understand your collaboration itself and also the task. So we're going to look into different contexts. And also, we're going to use some of them. We're going to try to use a data visualization that is somewhat like notification, but it's more complex. It shows information in a different perspective, like how people understand big data through these types of device in the co-located scenario, and also how they reflect on the information together, and how those types of awareness supporting technique encourage exploration of and also support interaction. Thank you.
So my question is, you updated the model proposed by Carroll based on the current study. So maybe you have already finished, or is there any plan to validate this model with big data or that kind of thing?
You mean validate this model
Yes.
another study?
Yes.
So we sort of the other way around. We first observe your activities, recognize the indicators, and we observe people's behavior within each one and summarize them into the subcategories. This is kind of the conclusion of this study. Moving forward, if we're going to try to use those factors as an indicator in your next study. So it's sort of like we are using visualization to raise your awareness, and how those visualization going to affect social norms, team performance, and individual work. I think that's going to be try to advance or further validate this kind of framework.
Okay, I look forward to. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nikhil. I understand it right. You've explored notifications which are associated with the activities that the group is carrying out at that point of time. Is that right?
Associated with
as in with the tasks that they are carrying out at that point of time on the large screen display.
Yes.
Right.
So you're asking about what notification we're
No, I'm saying that have you also considered notifications which probably interrupt users from what they are doing at that point of time, and maybe are related to an activity that they are not carrying out at that point of time?
Yes, this is actually one of the pluses and minuses we provided. Excuse me. We plus it here. So we are. So one most important thing about notification is we have to think it not like all. We cannot only think the positive effects or negative effects. We also have to think it from the upsides and downsides of those notifications. That's why I have those pluses and minuses here. And you're talking about the interruptiveness of notifications. So this we actually use one of the indicators is like from the touch distance. This one. So it's actually what we actually notice. We sort of read it like this way, but the fact is when we notice that when one person like move the card into one category and send notification to the other, a typical reaction is to sort of pause their activity at this area of the display and move to just the other side. That's kind of stated in the paper, and they started actually after they like categorize and move their card to their own pile. They actually not goes back to their former place. They start right around the notified area. So we think this is why these types of interaction largely increase the movement. It's not like, okay, I finished this part and later on I categorize it. So that's increase the body movement, not body movement, but focus movement on the display, because display is kind of different from laptop, and moving those displays kind of increase some of those interruptions there, and also kind of break their current work because they started from the area that is being notified. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. Thank you.